She pushed her cheating husband off the cliff in a fit of rage. She then hurried back to the hotel to clean up every trace of what she had done. First, she showered to wash away any evidence on her body. Next, she deleted the dating messages on her husband's phone and wiped away all signs of their argument in the room. After that, she posted a casual update on social media to act as if nothing had happened, preparing herself for the detective's questions soon. Daisy stood in front of the mirror, practicing her statement over and over. Just then, the doorbell rang unexpectedly. Daisy's heart jumped. She thought the body must have been discovered much sooner than she expected. But when she opened the door, she froze in shock. Her husband was alive. Terrified, Daisy rushed into the bathroom. If the man she pushed last night wasn't Jeff, then who was it? She eventually calmed herself down and asked him where he had been. Jeff quickly explained that he had gotten drunk and fallen asleep in the recreation room. If that was true, did she push Ellie off the cliff? But why had Ellie been wearing Jeff's red jacket? Daisy rushed to check out of the hotel with Jeff. As they were about to head to their next destination, they saw Dick looking anxious while on a phone call. After asking, they confirmed that Ellie was missing. Ellie had unwittingly become her husband's scapegoat. Not long after, detectives began searching the mountain, and the couple joined the rescue. Just as Jeff was about to check the edge of the cliff, the team announced that they had found an injured Ellie. Daisy panicked, afraid Ellie would wake up and expose her. Wanting to keep tabs on Ellie's condition, she told Dick he was too upset to drive and offered to go with him to the hospital. But as soon as they reached the ward, they learned Ellie was already dead. Daisy's anxiety finally lifted. Still, it was her first time taking a life, so she called her mother, scared. She said almost nothing, but her mother could sense something was deeply wrong. Soon afterward, the police launched an investigation into the accident. Just as Daisy worried she might slip up, a nervous Jeff found her and pulled her aside. For the first time, he admitted his affair with Ellie. He wasn't apologizing. He wanted Daisy to give him a false alibi. He had met with Ellie that night and couldn't prove his whereabouts, fearing the police would suspect him. Daisy laughed upon hearing this. She never expected her husband would beg her for help. But they were now in this together, and she had no reason to refuse. It would keep her out of suspicion and let her use the secret against him later. Under questioning, they stuck to the same story. They had stayed in their room all night. Due to the incident, they cut their trip short and attended Ellie's memorial service. But then Jeff received news. The police believed Ellie's death was not an accident, but murder. Daisy was stunned. If that were the case, she was in serious danger. To stay clear of suspicion, she told Jeff to tell her everything, so they could make sure their stories matched perfectly. Jeff thought Daisy was only looking out for him and unknowingly revealed the full details of his affair. He claimed he had been careful, leaving no car traces at hotels, but he had exchanged emails with Ellie and even given her a key to their house. Daisy acted furious upon hearing this. She had no idea her husband had been so reckless. Together, they decided to destroy the evidence. Jeff snuck into his office to delete their emails, then they visited Dick's house under the pretense of checking on him and retrieved the key from Ellie's place. Just as they thought they were in the clear, the detectives showed up. Since the four of them had dined together, the police wanted them to cooperate with the investigation. Daisy remained calm. At the station, she claimed she had only just met Ellie and knew nothing about her. She added that even though Jeff and Ellie worked together, he had never mentioned her. The detectives found nothing suspicious and let them leave. The next day, however, police pulled up security footage showing Daisy near Ellie, proving she had lied. But soon after, a new lead led them to name Dick as the prime suspect. Inside Ellie's locker, they found large amounts of cash and a rental agent's contact. Dick had claimed they were deeply in love, so the rental information made no sense. The police suspected their relationship was already falling apart. Meanwhile, Daisy was stressed at home when her mother suddenly visited. Right then, a female detective also arrived. Upon hearing Dick had been arrested, Daisy acted unsurprised and shared what she had observed. She believed Ellie and Dick had relationship issues, and Dick had been extremely possessive of Ellie. When the detective showed her the security photo, Daisy still insisted their encounter was a coincidence. The detective was suspicious but had no proof. Just as she suspected a connection between the three, her assistant uncovered more information. They returned to the hotel and learned Dick had proposed to Ellie and been rejected, a possible motive for murder. Dick denied everything, saying he would remain silent until his lawyer arrived. Soon after, he called Daisy, asking if Ellie had said anything at the bar that might prove his innocence. But Daisy stayed silent and hung up immediately. The police had been monitoring the call. That night, Jeff took Daisy to dinner, believing the whole mess would soon blow over. He apologized for his mistakes and begged for forgiveness, even suggesting they start a family. Absurd as it sounded, Daisy agreed immediately. It was all part of her plan. Later, Daisy's mother found photos of Jeff with another woman. She urged Daisy to divorce him before it was too late, threatening to hand the pictures to the police. But Daisy still needed Jeff, so she reluctantly told her mother about the cliff incident. To her surprise, her mother didn't seem shocked, as if she had already suspected something. After her mother left, Daisy realized the woman in the photos wasn't Ellie, it was one of Ellie's close friends. She completely broke down and broke up with Jeff on the spot. Suddenly, Dick showed up at their door. Before they could react, He pulled a weapon and confronted Daisy, demanding to know what Ellie had told her the night she left him. As Dick grew more violent, Jeff admitted his affair with Ellie. Enraged, Dick knocked Jeff unconscious, then pinned Daisy down and began choking her. In a desperate moment, Daisy grabbed a rock from the floor and struck him. Dick stopped breathing almost instantly. Police arrived and investigated, ruling Daisy's actions as self-defense. She was free to go after completing formalities. Despite everything, Jeff still believed he loved Daisy. To prove it, he quit his job, hoping to reconcile. But Daisy thought the danger had passed. It was time to finish her revenge. She sent an anonymous email to the police. The next day, she pretended to reconcile with Jeff and went on a trip with him. They were stopped by police halfway. The female detective appeared, revealing she had received the anonymous tip exposing Jeff's affair with Ellie. Jeff was stunned. Daisy acted utterly shocked and heartbroken. Jeff was arrested for murder. Daisy tearfully confessed to giving false testimony, claiming she had only done so under her husband's threats. She told police Jeff had taken a red jacket, disappeared the entire night, and returned home with a wet shirt the next morning. Jeff insisted he was innocent, but the police didn't believe him. He was sentenced to 30 years in prison. 3 months later, Daisy returned to a normal life, until she received a call from Jeff. He was gaunt and broken, yet asked her to wait for him.
Why would I?
You know I didn't kill her. You know I didn't kill Cara.
How do I know?
Because you did.
Daisy froze. On the night Dick broke in and attacked her, she had repeatedly whispered, "I'm sorry." Those words had made Jeff suspicious. He was convinced that if he told the police what he suspected, they would uncover Daisy's guilt. But Daisy was already one step ahead. She told Jeff she was pregnant with his child. That it had been her plan all along. This was the only way to keep him silent. With that, her perfect scheme came to an end. Daisy had successfully gotten her revenge. To this day, Jeff still cannot understand one thing. Why did Daisy kill Ellie?